It's been a really interesting journey finding my way into this character. I read the book and fell in love with the other characters. And I think what I tried to do was make her a fully fleshed out, real 3D human to honor the legacy of women like her who came before me.
I am loving Kindred so far. You guys are doing amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you
for saying that.
So, Austin, I know that you were already a fan of the book of Octavia Butler's story when it came out, but what really spoke to you about this script and Brendan's interpretation of it?
The way that he so perfectly sets up the premise of the show, and also the way he made these characters so real, so fully fleshed out for an audience that has not read the book, but also he honors the source material so well that I think even fans of the book will recognize these people as the characters that they love from the book. The characters all have such depth. The way he's playing with so many genres was just so exciting, and I just think he's one of our greatest writers. So all of that was really, really exciting.
Sheria, I don't know how much we can say about Olivia at this point. We know she's a time traveler, and also I think this is kind of like one of the more new aspects of the series. Can you talk about how you find your way into her character and the position that she's in right now?
Yeah, so it's so cool to be playing a character that's outside of the novel, right? And Brandon Jacob Jenkins does such a wonderful job of taking care of this character and giving her space to bloom during the series. What I will say is that Olivia is Dana's long lost mother. She too is a time traveler. Yeah. Spoiler alert. She too is a time traveler. So she was a modern day woman in the 90s, trapped into American slavery in the 1800s. So it's been a really interesting journey finding my way into this character. I read the book and fell in love with the other characters. And I think what I tried to do was make her a fully fleshed out, real 3D human to honor the legacy of women like her who came before me.
You do an amazing job, so thank you. Sophina, I think Sarah is such a fascinating character because she's like perhaps in closest proximity to the Whalens, like all the time. She's in that house with them. She has to live with them and put up with them. And for the sake of not only herself, but for her child to stay safe and stay together. Can you talk about her constant struggle?
Yes, I think that's one of the most interesting things about taking on the role is that it opened up my perspective in terms of the options that enslaved people had to really realize that just because I chose as Sarah not to run, not to fight, my choice was still valid. It still had so much dignity and integrity behind it because I choose to work the system, so to speak, and I choose to really lean on white proximity in terms of trying to make a way for my children. And because you do find out, through the novel and through the series that I only have one child left, really. That need becomes ferocious, absolutely ferocious, to see her free, liberated. And just as Sheria was sharing about the women who came before her, knowing that I want my child to be better off than I have been is the ultimate goal.
Often, as a man, it's like a slightly different perspective that Luke is bringing to the story, even though, of course, he's still in a difficult position being enslaved. But what have you learned about maybe like the gender dynamics in your time on Kindred?
It's so interesting because, Octavia Butler even says that she centers Black women because that is her experience. So why not write from that? So it does feel like an honor just to kind of, be amongst all these incredible Black women characters that she has created. But I think the joy and the privilege of getting to play this part is getting to play somebody who has great respect for the women around him. I think in this time period, what these men were watching these women put up with and deal with just demanded such profound respect. And I think Luke has that. Whether or not he and Sarah see eye to eye on everything, I think they both have a mutual respect for what the other one is trying to do. And I think that I think that's why he tries to help Olivia and Dana. And I think he's aware that he does have more privilege than they do as a man. And I think as best he can, he tries to leverage that, for them. And, ultimately we see how that works out over the course of the series. But that would be my answer to that.
And it is a beautiful answer. Thank you. Now, obviously, all times are terrible. So we don't want to time travel to anywhere in the past. But if from an educational perspective, if there was a place that you could learn more about, that you could see firsthand, what would you want to see?
I'll go. Absolutely. I want to go to the 60s to learn more about the Black Arts movement. Like, I want to be, if I could travel and just get up in that for a minute, not like in it, but fly on the wall. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to know, I want to be right there with Amara Baraka.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? On. Yes. I want to be right there with those, those men and women who were on the front lines of the Black Arts movement and also the Black Power movement.
I mean, I would love to have a sit down with Fred Hampton. I mean, he was so brilliant, and at such a young age. I would just want to have just like a 45-minute conversation with him, and then I come right back to that. But yeah, he's definitely somebody who I would just love to just sit down and chop it up with.
Yeah, a movement in time that I would love to go back to. As painful as it was, I am low-key a freedom fighter, so I could totally be in the 60s on the front lines of some marches. I could do that. I could do that. I feel like I'm built for that.
I think she could do that too.
You definitely could. Yes.
I love that. All excellent answers. Thank you guys so much. And Austin, just to say, congratulations on this, series regular role.
Thank you. This is so wild. When I saw your name on the list, I was like, this is a friend of mine from college. So it's so great. And congratulations to you. This is so amazing. And we're all amazing questions, but it's great to see you.
Thank you. You too. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Bye.